Yo, some of that mental fog that I had recorded weirdly in that last one is gone, which is good. So I wanted to record again. So went to a rave yesterday. It was a really good experience. Um, I feel like when I'm at places like I went with David, and as the night went on, it got progressively easier to meet people. Like I feel like I met a lot of really interesting people there. Um, I think this is something that's this last year. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I look through all 26 of this must have come up so many times. But this battle of intimacy versus isolation, that really seems to be like the largest battle in my life right now. Trying to figure out the balance between the two. Um, and so, you're at this concert and you're thinking, okay, like, what is the point of, concerts are a great place, but just like in life, like, to connect to those who are near you, to make new connections, to just be happy, and as long as connections lead to that, or is connection itself the final goal? With happiness, just not really. So I guess when I was there, I was just like, okay, like I do want to meet people, but why? Like, why do I want to meet people? Right? It's fun. It's cool to talk to new people because novelty. It's enjoyable. You have these like quick conversations. It could be deep, but it's not anything more than that. It's not any sort of commitment. It's like interesting. I'm peaked. I get to move on. Um, and so I think, when you do go with people you are close with, and I think like dancing is huge to me. So I met this guy there and we were getting turned up, like just dancing like crazy. It was us two, and it was like easy to like meet other people when you have someone who matches your energy with dancing. Two people is enough. If two people are dancing hard and like relatively well, like you can meet anybody. Everyone will come to you. But you need two people, otherwise it's just like you don't one person's not enough to create draw that much, attention. Which is how, your eyes look across all the people and then sometimes you see someone and your interest is piqued. And then you go around them. And it's like at concerts you want to be that source of energy where it's like in life, you want people to want to be around you. And it's like you need someone who's like able to bring that at a high level without drugs, without being turned up, just like as a human being individual. And it's like that's the type of people I want to surround myself with, right? Who is like high level, like not high level, high like energy, but like sober. Like you don't need to be faded for that. And so I guess like when I go out, I have a hard time with that because like people don't match that energy like at all. Like, back in the day, Rookie matched that energy for sure. Rookie brings way more energy than I ever can. And Milo, Rookie and Milo. Basically, a lot of, yeah, just the dude yesterday was black. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a black thing. I feel like I know, yeah, I don't know. Um, it's just so many people are low energy. It's so annoying. I'm like, people are boring. Like, it's just like, come on. Like, the number of people who are able to have fun, like, without needing a crutch of alcohol is like damn near zero. Like, where are they at? Like, why are people so boring? You meet these two people who were really cool yesterday. It's like I meet few people like that for every hundreds, And it's like, it's a little tough to always have to be the one to bring that energy. But that being said, that was a whole pretty like superficial part of the conversation, the last 5 minutes or whatever. But so I think moving forward, the way I need to go about these interactions is like clearly you do want some sort of companionship, friendship. You want to make friends. You want to just know people. You want to that spark when you talk to a human being and you see each other for being a human is so great. I love that. It's what I like live for. And it's like maximizing that I think is something I value a lot. That being said, I need to now figure out how to be content being alone. Like I think every time it gets hard, that's a good time to really reevaluate and be like, okay, why is it hard this time? Why is it hard this time? I've been definitely very lonely these last couple like weeks. Um, you can't fix that with people as a thing. That might be a band-aid, but there is an underlying issue. And obviously, I know things to do. My phone is a big part of it. Get rid of that. You're just more present. Even sitting on this stupid ass laptop, man. I work all day on this goddamn laptop. Fuck my laptop. I want to see the world. When I'm seeing the world, I never feel lonely. When you're doing stuff, you don't feel lonely. So when you're seeing this stupid thing, these maybe a part of it is like these electronics. You always can talk to someone. You always can connect with someone. So when you're doing stuff on it, but you're not connecting with someone, you're aware of the fact that I could be connecting with someone while I'm using this thing, but I'm not. If I'm on a walk, if I want to connect with someone, I just say what's up. It's like, or if I don't, I'm like doing something. I'm connecting with the world. You don't really connect with the laptop. Um, the electronic thing is a huge thing, and I just if I step out, go to the gym, step out of the house, bzz, brain is clear. You can't sit at home. You need to find a workspace that's not at home. You gotta find like a library or something nearby to go work. Um, yeah. So okay. So that's that. Next, I wanted to kind of also talk about just like cancel culture. Um, okay. I think I'm just over America. Like I'm ready to get out of here. Honestly, I think there's a lot to see in this world, and I'm definitely excited to go see more of it. Um, this idea that like okay, so for example, what had happened this weekend was Travis Scott had a concert, and like it was really large, and people got trampled, and like 8 people died or something. And that's awful. I mean, you never want anyone. I mean, I guess in theory you don't want anyone to ever die, but like if you don't want young kids dying unnecessarily prematurely, I don't know. That's all bullshit. Like, what does that mean? Like, you could die at any moment. Like, you don't want people. Okay, whatever. Focusing on the issue. You're not like given life. Like, it's not something you deserve. But that's not the point. Regardless of me feeling like life has no meaning, and then therefore saying these things. Let's say we go by the thing that everyone should live until they're 9,000 years old. And if you don't live that long, then it was stolen from you. Your life was stolen from you. Whatever. Okay, let's say some bullshit like that. As if like you deserve life. Like it's life. Like it's not. You don't deserve it. You die. But okay, my point is, like, what is the point of like, okay, it's Travis Scott's fault. Is his fault? Okay, then what? What is the point of putting the fault on him? Like, what is the underlying issue? There's this underlying issue of people in America, in my opinion, that we value ourself much more than we value other human beings. We don't really see other people for humans. If you're good looking, if you bring me value, if you're rich, then you're a person. Otherwise, you're nothing. That is not shared by Travis Scott alone, nor is that not shared by people who are poor or people who are uneducated. Like, just because I don't have the power to actually affect my beliefs, like actually, put my beliefs onto the world, doesn't mean I don't have them. So I could have all those racist beliefs, but if I'm not in a position to actually use it, then I can go around all day being like, look how saint-like I am. Like, it's a big thing. Like, okay, let's say I am living a modest life because I can't make money. You didn't choose to be modest. You don't have an option. I don't care about money. Okay, if you did care, could you go get the bag? No. So you didn't pick that. You just are in that. So I feel like all these people who like, are sitting on their moral high horse don't think that they are capable of the actions that these other people are. You are just as likely to do it if given the power. Luckily, you don't have any power, so you don't act on it. And so it's like, okay, yeah, Travis Scott, like, yes, in theory, should you see other human beings as human beings? And when you see people suffering and people dying like that, you stop your show? Hell yeah, you should. But would thousands of other people have done the same thing that Travis Scott did? Yes. Nobody, people don't care about other human beings in America. We care about ourselves and other people we think bring value. And so to act like, this one individual is a problem is just not fully understanding the depth of the issue at all. And that just like, it just kind of messes with me. It's like everyone wants to simplify everybody's like beliefs, arguments into like either you are accepted or you are not. Like, it's so stupid. Like, we cannot. People have a lot to bring to the table. Are people perfect? Are they going to do everything that you and your moral high horse believe? Like, no. Does that mean that they should still maybe, like, if they choose to change, like, if they want? Yes. Like, like, take, like, look, like, people are going to, like, make mistakes. And people are going to do awful, horrible things. If given a certain amount of power, like, given a certain amount of power, like, give me a sec. I just talked to John. I'm going to Atlanta this weekend, so I'm kind of excited for that. So let's talk about this. I don't know where I was, but there's some events that I go to where I have like this gut feeling of like I don't know how I feel about that. I felt that for the rave yesterday, but I had a fantastic time. I feel that again, talking to John for Atlanta. Um, I don't know what. I guess the fear is me crossing my boundaries. So yesterday I was afraid of, going out of my way to fill this void of loneliness. For Atlanta, it's going out of my way for putting myself in situations where I'm not comfortable, but like also see discomfort, right? So I'm very like attached to my money. I don't want to like lose it for no particular reason. I'm gonna work hard this week. I'm gonna make my money. But here, I think this is an important thing to say. I'm just like pretty happy with the direction my life is moving in, and I have a lot of thoughts and ideas. I just don't like have them well thought out enough to say it on video. But I should definitely, as I did it earlier, say more over time. But I feel like being in DC and being around these people, everyone is so calculated with the way they speak, right? It's like, I'm going to share this information, but not this because I don't want to have this image or this voice out there. And it's kind of scary, like being like, I'm going to record my growth and transformation by being fully honest with the internet. Because, I mean, like, but the big picture is it doesn't matter, right? Like, you get canceled, X, Y, and Z, it just doesn't matter. I mean, you're going to die. Like, it's like nothing, like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, like, you got canceled, you're still alive, nobody's killing you. Like, because some of the things I do say, I 100%, like, taking out of you take 10-second here, 10-second there. I do say things that are at one day maybe not the most acceptable things to ever say. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the social climate will look 10 years from now. You take one of these clips and making the presupposition I'm going to matter enough to that point that someone's going to watch these, which is not true. But that being said, like, the society is being run by a bunch of like intelligent people. Are really intelligent. I think with social media, the advent of social media, like people definitely have access to a lot more information, think more. They're smart. People are smart. But I do think this is also another thing I think that skews your mind. The only people who are going to be tweeting are people who care enough to tweet. Everyone else who's like trolling or doing, you're not going to see those tweets in like a I'm triggered comment section, right? So it's like when you talk about, so many people getting triggered or cancel culture, it's only the people who are really expressing their thing. It's not like you take any of these canceled people, Michael Jackson, the baby, it's everyone. They still have careers. Like they're still like the baby gets like millions of views on every video. It's not like everyone canceled him. But the people who were very open about it and who were going to speak out loud, they canceled him. But I don't even know if they were the ones listening to his music in the first place. Usually the people you got can't like, okay, I'm not gonna listen to Dua Lipa and DaBaby on Levitating. Like they're not listening to DaBaby on like his album. But like everyone's canceled. I mean, who's not? Kevin Hart's canceled, Joe Rogan's canceled, Jordan Peterson is canceled. Like if you have an opinion, you are canceled. You must not speak on literally anything. I saw this. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the only thing you can say has to be inclusive to every possible human being on the planet. Once you discriminate against anyone, you're just canceled. So if you come up with the perfect metric to study something that you want studied for colleges to do something, you're canceled because you are biasing people based on this and that. Like there's no end to it. What like the cancel culture changes with the time. It's not like whatever I say today based on the current ideas of what is part of being canceled. Like that's not the metric that I'm being judged on. It's whatever it is at the current time. Anything you have ever said or done is based on what it is now. That makes no sense. If you take what something is said or done out of the context of the time that it's done or said in, you miss the whole point. You take okay, let's say we Kevin Hart. He said some transphobic whatever he said 10 years ago. That doesn't is not representative of that individual. It's representative of a culture in which saying those things were acceptable. Most people don't say things that are outrageously unacceptable in any culture because you will be like just kicked out. Obviously, there's some people. I'm not saying nobody does that, but I'm saying most people will fall in line with what society expects from them. If you're not supposed to say these words, you're not supposed to say fuck in like a children's playground, like most people won't do that. Like there will be few, but most people won't. So it's like you can't take what someone did 10 years ago and then put it in today's lens because that misses where the culture was at back then. Like saying something was gay was acceptable. Like everyone did it. Whether I had the platform to actually say it in front of millions of people or whether I said it to my friends doesn't make the difference that people said it. It doesn't change it. One, I just didn't have power. I'm in the third grade. I didn't have any power. No one cared what I had to say. Kevin Hart at the same time had a platform and he said it there. So it's not like Kevin Hart the only individual to do it. No one else did it. It's just we all did it. He had the platform to actually say and have it recorded. And so it's just like for people now to be like, wow, he's so wrong. Like you didn't say it. You didn't say none of those jokes. Like cap. Like some people probably never did. But I bet you a ton of those people who were canceling them probably did. And it's just this idea of like, the goal isn't to just be like, I am upset at something you did. I want you to lose how you support your family. I want you to lose all of that. Like, it has nothing, that makes no sense. Like, what does that accomplish? Like, the goal is to like pass forward a message. If you really care about this utopian ideology of mind, it's like the point is not to just cancel anyone who doesn't do. Canceling is a stupid idea. One, it will never work. Nobody's gonna lose their career to like if you're a talented individual So you're a scientist on the brink of cancer. You have the answer to cancer. Nobody cares what you say. You call people retarded. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you're not getting canceled because you bring something to the table that outweighs any like canceling thing that can happen to you. You can only cancel people who like don't bring much value to the table. And like then fully cancel them to the point where they have no career after. Like, is that what the goal is? To bring them so low that they fall into poverty, like, or die? The I feel like the point should be to push society forward. So like passing the message of like these things are not acceptable is that makes sense. So you need some punishment. So that makes sense. So you need some punishment to push forward the message that these actions are no longer acceptable in society. So go after people who are doing it now. You can't find people like that, then we're doing a good job. Don't go after what people did in the past. That makes sense, But coming back to the Travis Scott thing, it's like, look, canceling him is not fixing the actual issue, which will show up again and again and again in different areas at different magnitudes. He's not the only person doing that at all. And so it's like, it's just sad to be like, the current population is just so like fixated on like, my life sucks. Because it is entertaining. When someone's getting canceled, is it not fun to just be like, I hate this person sucks, they're so bad, I'm good, this person's bad. Like, I guess like once you realize how bad you are and how bad you're capable of being, you stop this whole bullshit of like, I'm such a saint. Like, no. Put in the environment, you will turn into a savage. Know that and harness that. Don't like, there is nothing I won't do. And if you can't admit that, then that's sad. Like, okay, yes, I mean, that's interesting. Like, would you? So right when I said that, the first thing I thought about was rape. Is there a situation where you'd rape somebody? Given a situation, let's say I said this is basic ethics. If I said like some crazy, this obviously in theory would never happen. If somebody was like, you either have to rape X person or we kill 10 million people. Is it worth it? What about 5 million? What about 1 million? What about 100,000? Like, at what point do you draw that line? But there are questions where it's like, I don't know, man. Like, you can't have these philosophical conversations like anymore without being canceled. Like, you can't talk philosophy without getting canceled. You just can't. And I'm like kind of doubting myself. It's like what I just said right now, like 1 minute ago. Will I get canceled for that? Like, are you allowed to ask that question or no? I don't know. Like, I'm a dumbass just like talking. Like, so I want to record the process. Like, I'm not gonna say intelligent shit when I'm 23. Like, maybe if I stay alive and until when I'm 60, maybe I'll have something better to say. But you got to record the process. I'm not gonna just end up there one day. Like, everybody's on their moral high horse. I'm good. I'm a good person. You're bad. I'm good. Hate that. That's the one thing I hate the most. Like, if I've never been in a situation where I needed to steal, I'm not saying I was, but I'm saying I can't look at someone who has stolen and be like, oh, you're bad for stealing. I just haven't been in a position where I needed to steal. Like, there are environments where a lot of actions are justifiable. You're about to kill my family, I kill you. I killed somebody. But then if someone comes up and be like, wow, you killed somebody, you're so bad, I'm good. Like, I've never done that. Yeah, because you never had to. Like, this idea of like, that needs to be taken into consideration. Can you and did you need to? I've never killed someone. Because you can't. Like, those two matter. Can you and did you need to? If both of those conditions are not met, your claim doesn't matter. Like any of those things that people say to be moral, like, oh, I've never had sex. Okay, can you? And were you in an environment where you had to? Like, if not, then like like being truly, truly like morally right or superior or whatever. Let's take drinking for example. You can drink, you can handle your alcohol, you can do all of those things, and you choose not to drink. And on top of that, to meet the other criteria, you have to be in an environment where you could have drank, right? Like at a club, at a bar, where everyone else is drinking, and then choose not to. Being at home with no friends and saying I don't drink, yeah, because you were never in an environment where you could, or like needed to, or like were peer pressured into it. You're alone at home, or like like or like you live in a society where no one drinks. Okay, you don't nobody drinks. You're not pressured. You didn't take that extra willpower that is required to make a stance. So you don't deserve moral clout for that. Are you allowed to say these things? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah. Well, get that out that. Thank you for listening. Peace.